Welcome, my beautiful Scorpios. This reading is going to be looking at winter for you for 2024. Normally I do the year in review, and I usually do the whole year at one time, but I decided this year to do it per season. I feel like you can comprehend it much better that way. You remember things from the reading. So as things start to happen in your life, you can pull back and watch that reading again. You may get new ideas, new epiphanies. You may hear it in a completely different way. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to break it down per season this year. Um, I feel like a lot of people are actually liking this format better. So why not go with it? Anyway, this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. By the way, definitely check out your moon and check out your rising for the year so that you can be as prepared as you can be. We are moving into a universal year 8. And I just wrote down a few things I'm going to go over very quickly because I want you to understand what a universal year 8 means, and how you can best benefit from it. By the way, I do want to say real quick, um, that I was running a holiday special for a buy one, get one reading free, a personal reading free. It's an awesome special that I run a few times a year, because literally it's like giving one away for free. But I feel like this is the year that a lot of people need that. So I have no problem with that. With the second reading, by the way, you can give it away as a gift and you can allow them to handle it any way they want. They can send me their own questions, which is probably the best way of doing it, but you do it any way you want. If you choose to keep the second reading, the only stipulation I have is that you wait 4 months from the original, from the first reading. Because really, I feel like it's a waste of your money if you do it any sooner than that. Your first reading should definitely cover 4 months for you, if not further. So there is no expiration date, by the way. Someone asked me that. No expiration date. I keep my books well. So, I'll know that you have that free one. And I also want to say real quickly, first of all, I thank you all for your donations. It's the only way I feel like a lot of readers can stay on YouTube these days because YouTube, I don't know. I don't know. But I do want to say for this reading, all and any donations are going to go to my daughter, who is a Scorpio. Many of you know that, Jenny Love Chiro. She's a single mom. It's Christmas, and she could certainly use the help. So that's where your donations, especially if you do it through PayPal. Otherwise, YouTube takes a big percent, like 30% of the donation. So that link is all below. All that information is below. So just helping a single mom out, if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Okay, let's get into your reading though. First of all, let's just go over Jennifer's birthday is October 29th. My brother's birthday is November 6th. Um, Even my ex-husband's a Scorpio. He was October 31st. I was going to say he still is. He's still with us. Not with me. But anyway, so let's just real quickly talk about an 8. So an 8 really is associated with wealth, power, and influence, ambition, your capability. And ultimately what it does is it proves to you how strong that you really are. It can be a time of huge transformations, but Scorpio, you're all about that. So I feel like you should not have a problem with that. These transformations, though, are really meant to embrace. Another way of putting that is this is a year where there are going to be, rises and falls. But I feel like within the falls are the lessons. And if I can see that lesson, learn that lesson, very quickly, I feel like you rise again. So keep that in mind, okay? So, any falls, it's there for some type of transformation. What's it asking of you? And, you have free will to do what you want to do. This is your year to think big. Think big, guys. Set your goals high and reach for the stars. Really, especially within your material world, within your creative house, reach for the stars. And then as you start to make the wealth, share the wealth. This is the year, and I'm not just saying that, but this is the year that as I make the wealth, I share the wealth. Now, I'm using the word wealth because I feel like ultimately 2020 or 2028, 2024, by time we're leaving it, I feel many of us are looking at a much better bank account, so to speak. Um, so ultimately, this is about a universal year 8. You want to look back at the last 7 years. You want to see, like, what have you been cultivating? What ideas have you had that maybe you haven't brought to the table yet? What lessons have you learned and how have you grown from them? It's really looking back only to see, like, okay, how can I take that and use it for my benefit to then move forward? Some of you, it's literally starting spiritually based businesses. And I say spiritual because I feel like anytime you're using your energy to help another, I feel like it's a spiritual thing. So, this is a time to stand on your own 2 feet. And the reason why is so that you can feel that power again. Now, I'm not talking egotistical. I'm talking about power, being able to take care of me and my family. Get comfortable with success. That should be your motto. Get comfortable with success because this is the year. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the reading. I'm sorry I talked so long. I try not to talk long before the beginning of a reading because I know a lot of people don't have the patience for that. But let me explain to you what I'm doing. We're going to start with Mother Mary for our words of wisdom, and then we're going to break down each month with different decks. I like to look for the synchronicities. I just feel like, it's calling for different decks. I'm using the same decks in the majority of the readings because I am looking for synchronicities between signs also. So we're going to start January with the Universal Tarot. We'll do February with the Psychic Tarot, and we'll do March with the Tarot of Dreams. Um, Clarify, if we need to, any of the readings with the Gilded Tarot. So those are the decks I'll be using. But let's go ahead and start with Mother Mary. And by the way, everything is really shuffled well. But I do like to give a couple shuffles or two as soon as I hit go. It's go time. That's what I feel like Universal 8 is. It's go time. Okay. Just give it a couple shuffles. Make sure nothing else wants to come out. And one more. Okay. I had a feeling something else wanted to come out. That's why I did that. All right. Trust. Trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. I know that God is answering my prayers right now. What we got to remember with prayers and how they're received is they may look different than what we ask for, but it's only to protect us or something better. Trust. Trust. Okay. Inner child. Scorpio, I feel like that's where you're happiest, when you're in your inner child. You are a playful soul. You're a very loving soul. Um, you're very connected soul, and all of that's important. But living from your inner child, or another way of saying is letting your inner child come out and play. Like if things just feel too serious, sometimes I just got to break it down, give it a little laugh, and walk away. I don't know. Inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness, well, and self care. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self care. We'll read those from the book at the end, but let's go ahead and get into the months now. So we're going to start with January. I do want to remind you time is fluid. I do feel like this is starting for 2024, and I am doing them a little bit early because I do feel like for some of us, there are things that we do not want to bring forward. So this is the perfect time to know that, I guess. All right. I am going to read off the top of the deck. So let's just begin. Let's relax our mind. Let go of any fear. Let your intuition really let you know if something is for you. Trust your intuition. Even above mind, trust your intuition. Okay, let's begin. Seven of Pentacles. I like it. I'll take it. Let's bring the lid down a little bit. Yeah, many of you have heard me say this a million times. I feel like this is your tree of life. You know, the patience is about allowing these seeds that normally you see a tree, to allow them to come to ripeness, let's say. You know, it's like picking an apple before it's ripe, then it's just bitter. That's what the patience is about. I feel like these seeds on this tree, I feel like some of the seeds are what you're planting right now. And you want to think about that like you're always planting seeds. So I got to think about what seeds am I planting? But I also feel some of these seeds were planted before you even came into this lifetime. It's like certain experiences that your soul wanted to have. Now, that doesn't always mean easy experiences. Usually it doesn't. Um, but let's just keep moving. We have the Six of Pentacles, very charitable type energy, compassionate. This is where and listen, this is your natural energy where you feel good helping the underdog, so to speak. Like when you can help lift someone up, it lifts you up. It's learning that fine art of give and take, and I know you can easily give, but do you allow yourself to receive? Do you expect to receive? And then sometimes you got to be careful in this energy of who you're giving to. As I give, am I giving a hand up or is it just a handout? This feels like, I don't know, it feels like help. Like, it feels like it's help to help you in some way. Well, let's keep going. Well, hello, sun. I love it when the sun shows in a reading. Because number one, the sun illuminates everything. So anything done in the dark will come to the light by anyone, even ourselves. But this is really your inner child. This is living through your inner child. This is playfulness. I feel like the sun's like a new beginning, right? The sun rises every day, a new day. I feel like there's nothing to fear here. Let's keep going. We have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Action. This is a queen that does trust her intuition. Now, I do feel like it's you. It can be someone else. You'll have to know that. Fire, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We do have Leo right here. But honestly, I feel like this is more about the energies it's asking from you for 2024. And remember, we're just doing winter right now. Actually, we're just doing January right now. So this is action oriented. This is trusting one's intuition and moving forward to, I feel like the Queen of Wands is someone who follows her passions, thinks about it later, but she's a queen. So, like as a page, I feel like, I probably like followed my passions and probably had some falls, but then I learned to get back up again. We have the moon with the sun and the moon. Um, Card of Pisces, Cancer's ruler. So we have Leo's ruler, and now we have Cancer's rulers, who are neighbors, by the way. The moon can mean uncertainties, right? I can only see as far as the moonlight will allow me to see. But the sun is like, well, I'm going to illuminate everything, every little corner. It's go time. Ace of Wands. It's like the universe is saying right off the bat, Scorpio, it's go time. 2024 hits the clock, hits the calendar. Scorpio's in action. I love that the Ace of Wands is coming under the sun. Even though the moon is beside it, still, it's like very strong epiphanies. Like ideas that can take you to, I feel like, faraway lands. And I don't necessarily mean like, I'm traveling, but just like, I don't know, I feel like it opens things that maybe have previously been closed. We have the Seven of Cups. So interesting, Seven of Cups coming below the Queen of Wands because she's not someone who normally would get twisted up in the Seven of Cups. Interesting, we have two sevens mirroring each other. The Seven of Cups is about choosing a cup. Um, and it can be something that just comes in very quickly, because it can feel chaotic. And that's why I think I need to trust my intuition more than ever. I often feel in the Seven of Cups that I can tell myself, I've chosen cups and look what happened. That went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong. But if you're coming from a different energy, right? If you are being honest with yourself, like the cups that maybe got knocked over in the past, I feel like, listen, maybe they got knocked over because they were meant to move you along or you were meant to move along. Don't forget the Seven of Pentacles being your very first card. So there is a soul seed of intention that wants to manifest. Ace of Wands means it takes your action. But again, I feel like epiphanies, ideas, the way will be shown. And listen, the moon right beside the Ace of Wands, it could talk of, well, first of all, the moon can also be very dreamy type energy. There's our eight of Wands. What I think about, I bring about. This is also fast moving energy. I just feel like 2024 is going to open up for you, Scorpio. And I just feel like, boom, like just the way is going to be shown in some way, somehow. I do want to say with the Eight of Wands here, do think about your intentions. Like, what intentions are you setting out there? What seeds are you planting? This can talk about, even though this Seven of Pentacles talks about patience, it could also talk about, well, maybe you've had patience and maybe some seeds are coming very quickly. When I think of the Eight of Wands, I think of Four of the Wands going out into the universe, and that's my intention. That's my vibration. And the universe is going to match that. That's the law of attraction. So that's why I'm saying, think about, like, this is not a year to say, I can't. It won't work. This is a year to say, I can, and I'll find a way. And I feel like the universe backs you up. All right, let's keep going. Look at this. Look at this. Successful self-employment. Scorpio. This is abundance. This is independence. You know how I said eight is really calling for you to stand on your own 2 feet? Here you are, standing on your own 2 feet. This is independent energy because I can take care of myself here. Now, we started with the 7 and we end with the 9. So it may not be something that happens overnight, but I feel like it's happening in January. If nothing else, it's at least the epiphanies, the ideas that I do feel like are coming directly from your guides, God. And I feel like, again, the more you trust that energy, the more you're guided. And I feel like you're guided to the right place. Who benefits in the Nine of Pentacles? You do. You do. Now, does it have to be self-employment? No. That is the meaning of the card, though. But it doesn't have to be. Boy, do I love that the Nine of Pentacles is being mirrored by the Sun. Holy cow. That is excellent energy, Scorpio. Look at the Ten of Pentacles. Look at that. It's almost like you have this goal in mind. And I'm glad you have this goal in mind. And again, you may not know exactly, like, I don't know where to take this, or I'm not really sure how to begin this. Talk to your guides, listen, watch for the signs. Those ideas that you get. I think of my daughter and how she always says to me, man, I just get like the best ideas, and she writes them down. But then she doesn't always put the action behind them. And I said to her one time, I said, we could probably, or she could write a book with the information she's written down. But anyway, so maybe this is a year to really put those ideas into action. I love that January is starting out what feels like in an abundant type energy. Now, it doesn't mean like I become rich in January, but everything feels like it's being put in place. Now, what are you going to do? Will you accept that ace? I think you will. Interesting, because I feel like January is talking about money. It's talking about what you do in the world, or what you want to do in the world, and then bringing it to the world, even if I'm just starting at the beginning. A lot of you, I feel like, if you're working in some type of energy where you do help the underdog, I feel you're going to be very successful. I feel like you're going to be successful no matter what, as long as you are willing to put the work in. Because Nine of Pentacles, this person doesn't become abundant from just sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? Like they're willing to put the work in, but at the same time, they love what they do. All right. I really don't even feel like I need to clarify this. The only thing I want to look at is the Seven of Cups, just to see what maybe would have you say nay versus yay, because this is a very abundant reading for January. So let's just look at the Seven of Cups because it's the only thing. The Chariot, card of Cancer. By the way, we're in the year of the Chariot. It's funny. It's a seven coming over a seven. Three sevens. 777. I throw out numbers like that because I feel like for some of you, those numbers mean something. Look at this: 7, 8, 9, 10. Progression. The Chariot, first and foremost, talks about unlimited potential, but we have to get there. And one of the ways we can get there is about finding balance. I feel like the Chariot is somewhat of a reward. What I learned in the Chariot is it's not the reins of the horses that take me skyward. It is my intentions. My intentions tell the Chariot where to go. And once I understand that, then the Chariot really becomes unlimited, unlimited potential. Some of you may be finding that you're getting a car in January. Maybe that's something that's like hindered you for a little while. Okay, I'm going to let that be, but let's keep all this in mind. Your very last card is success, mirrored by the sun. So, not just success, but I feel like a love of what you do at the same time. And listen, some of the success is coming from inner child energy. Now, that may mean experiences of your inner child and not be, don't be afraid to share them. So, I definitely feel like you're going to be guided right off the bat. I have no doubt you're going to be guided right off the bat. I'm just hoping that you take that Ace of Wands that has got brand new growth on it, and the sun is right there, so that growth is going to continue to grow. And I hope you end up in that Nine of Pentacles. Independent success. And maybe ultimately you want the Ten of Pentacles. But maybe this is calling about you right now, right? Eight is really about self also. And not in a selfish way. You have every right to be able to take care of yourself. You have every right to do the things that call to you. You know what I mean? Like some of you, you may be afraid to, like, I don't know. Let's just use tarot for example. Like some people, on religious matters, don't believe in the tarot, but I bring God all through my readings. I mean, I feel like we're connecting to the angels, we're connecting to God. But I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get that viewpoint. So maybe that's what's happening. Like, you're allowing yourself to express yourself more freely. Okay, let's keep that in mind. And let's move into February. Should say Happy New Year's for January. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day. But I have to tell you, I think it's the worst holiday in the world. And I have love. I just feel like those who don't have love, I feel like it makes a lot of people feel lonely. I don't know. I think it should be done away with. Um, all right. February. Hello, universe. This is the world. This is you connecting. This is you connecting to the universe. I feel that all of a sudden. Like you and the universe are one. You feel one. Two and a one equals a three. Joy. Okay. Hello, Ace of Pentacles. Prosperity begins. Patience. Patience, my child. So we've seen this twice now. Not this card, but the energy of patience. And I have a feeling that the patience part is coming to an end. This is a card of Sagittarius, by the way, but it's about divine timing. Things happening in divine timing. You know, it makes me think of like the Knight of Pentacles who comes in at the right time, not before, not after. I feel like Temperance is the same. I feel like Temperance is mixing the perfect recipe together. And listen, I don't want to leave out an ingredient, but this ace feels like it's of divine timing and part of the next chapter, part of 2024. Look at this truth. You have three major arcanas out of four, and the fourth card is the Ace of Pentacles. Hello. That's your spiritual team. Your spiritual team is calling you to the present moment. When you see truth, first of all, you need to be honest with yourself. You know, the more truthful we are with ourselves, the easier life is, I feel. But this is about a rebirth. So your spiritual team's calling you to the present moment. I'm sure it has something to do with this ace, especially with temperance and the universe on either side of it. So let's see what comes under it. Look at this, the Nine of Pentacles again. Look at that. Material harvest. Right under the Ace of Pentacles. Almost like you take that Nine of Pentacles, add that Ace of Pentacles, it brings us to the Ten of Pentacles. Rejoice in celebration. Interesting how I said with the universe 21, it's also, you know, joy. Rejoice in celebration. Something is happening here. Something is happening. Something big is happening. It feels good. Your intuition. That means pay attention to your intuition because judgment again is saying, you know, we need you in the present moment. Now, this is February. So there's some type of change coming in February. And the change that's coming brings a sense of joy and a reason to celebrate. And it may be something that you waited for, but here it comes. And it may be something where you really have to trust your intuition to know if it's right or wrong for you. Now, I don't feel like it would be wrong. Moving on. This is the Six of Swords. So this person, excuse me, What are they moving on from? They're moving on from the Five of Swords. It just means I've looked at, because it's a five, means change, right? And this means that you've made that change because we're moving to the six. So the five talks about just any toxicity in your life, whether it be people, whether it be your own thought system. It's funny, my daughter and I had a conversation last night, and I said, you got to be careful with the way you think because, we can lie to ourselves. Like, just because we tell ourselves something, it doesn't make it truth, and I don't know why I'm picking that up other than, this does talk about, the things or the people or things that maybe I'm even doing that, need to go by the wayside. At least it would benefit you. But listen, I feel like by the time we get to February, you've already done this. Because what's mirroring this is the Ace of Pentacles. That makes sense, right? Because it's almost like here's this ace, right? Connected to that Nine of Pentacles. So it's followed us from January. So we know it's not a fluke. We know that you potentially have the ability to create true success for yourself. I feel like one of the requirements, maybe the rebirth, was, because this really feels like it's meant for you. It's almost like if I got this ace too soon, someone else would put their hands on it. But it's meant for you. There you are. Transformation. Major arcanas everywhere, guys. You have a major arcana in the four corners of this spread. A lot of people fear the death card because that's what it is. It's a death card. But there's nothing to fear, right? Because really, our guides say that's when living begins. This is a year that there will be transformations. But these transformations, again, I feel are there to really expand our lives. We have to allow it, though. The death card definitely says, certain doors need to be closed. Why? Because they just don't fit. It's like trying to put like a triangle into a circle square or a circle. You know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't fit. I feel like your intuition is going to be on fire, at least for the winter. But I feel like once you like can truly trust within your intuition, I feel like it stays on fire. And this may be the year where you're going to feel it more than you ever have. So again, the death card, closing door, new door opens. That's a fact. Patience mirroring it, divine timing. So whatever door is opening, it must be divine. Also, it's what's coming between the two, rejoice and celebration. Your spiritual team, my dear, it's time for a rebirth. It's time to live the life that you deserve. And it doesn't come free. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Chariot again. Interesting. It's almost like it's taking you out of 2023 into 2024. That's what the universe to me would mean. It's like out of 2023 right into 2024. Now we're in February though. So, you know, I feel like I feel like by the time we reach February, if you have not like started moving in the energy of the Nine of Pentacles, again, it says material harvest here. I feel like this is the month that you do. I love the Ace of Pentacles right above that, especially because we saw the Ten of Pentacles. Who knows? Who knows? It's interesting. You're not really getting any love cards. But I have to say, Universal 8, it's not really about love. Doesn't mean love can't happen, and it doesn't mean love won't happen. But this feels like it's saying right now, this is more important. Get comfortable with success. I'm trying to think. It's interesting because I don't even feel like I want to clarify it. It just seems too clear already. Choose wisely. That Seven of Cups has followed the Chariot, came over the Chariot, remember, in the first deck, I believe. But now the Chariot's over it. I don't know. Um, I'm saying I don't know. I do know. I just don't. It's interesting because this ace is a one, like literally a one with a nine, nine plus a one, a 10. It's like I said, like we're not getting love cards, right? But I feel like it's giving us a hint. I feel like it's saying like this year is about standing on your own 2 feet. This year is about creating abundance for yourself. That is what the year is about. But I also feel like it's giving us a little hint because I keep seeing the 10 of Pentacles. Now, that's not the physical 10 of Pentacles, but they're connected. That 9 plus that 1 is the 10. And the Ten of Pentacles is a house of abundance. It's a house that takes root. All right, let's keep going on. Remembering that your major arcana is the last card for February. And let's move into March. I feel like someone's like, Sandy, you didn't do clarifiers. I only do clarifiers if I really feel like I need them. I feel like your messages are very clear. Like, we don't want to overthink something. If it's there, it's there. All right. Trail of Dreams. March. When you think of March, March is the time for many places to start planting their seeds. Not everybody, us up here in the north, we have to wait a little longer, but for many, really March, the beginning of spring, what have you, it's the time to plant the seeds that, will guarantee you a harvest in the fall. If I don't plant the seeds, I will not have that harvest. And I got to know that. If I don't plant seeds, there will be no harvest. Okay. Look at that. Seven of Pentacles again. It almost feels like, okay, we're going on another trip. We're adding something else. Another seed is opening up. King of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Interesting. Is that not the first person that we've gotten so far? Ace of Swords, truth, communication. Well, I told you it was hinting at something. This is an unexpected cup of fulfillment. Doesn't have to be love. Well, it is love. It doesn't have to be romantic love. But I just feel like that Ten of Pentacles kept showing itself for a reason. So here comes another seed. And it feels like it's coming right on time. And that seed is of the Knight of Cups. When I think of a knight, I feel like a knight's going to complete their mission. Whether we accept that cup or not will be up to us, but that cup will still come. Now, it may come through some type of communication with the Ace of Swords. Let's keep going. We have the Four of Cups. So, Four of Cups wants you to use your spiritual discernment relating to making a decision. But the Four of Cups is also discontentment and boredom. Now, this may talk about your love life here because I feel like you're pretty busy um, in your material world, or at least you should be, not to sound like your mother. But really, the energy is there for you to use and take advantage of. So I feel like, you know, and then I don't know, I just feel like once you're at that energy of, and listen, I'm not saying like by time March comes around, like I have 10,000 in the bank or I have whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but you are on your way. Now, I don't feel you're just content in by this point in your material world. And, if you look at this card, this person's being handed a cup. They're being handed a cup and they're being asked to use their spiritual discernment whether they're going to accept that cup. Well, we already know who's bringing that cup in. The Knight of Cups. Probably sent by this king. This person's looking right up at the king. By the way, it does not have to be an earth sign. Understand that, please. To me, it just means someone who, if I think of earth, I feel like this would be something you'd be worthy of. So I feel like they would have to be of a certain vibration. Um, this is someone who normally is pretty stable. This is someone who does care about also their material world. Not that they are necessarily, that's the only thing I care about, but I feel like, like their souls don't feel at rest if, like, their material world is a mess. So, anyway, King Pentacles is also someone who looks at the big picture. Maybe you worry that someone's gonna not understand certain things, but I feel like this king will. All right, let's keep going. Well, there you go. Three of Pentacles. So, I feel like this is someone who sees your uniqueness. Three of Pentacles, you're the missing piece of the puzzle. This is you really doing what you do best, whatever that may be. This is you getting lost within your creative house. This is also the energy of other people paying attention to that. And maybe you don't even take notice of that. I'm too busy doing my thing. But it does speak about your uniqueness. And it's mirrored by this knight. Again, this Knight of Cups. So, you can put yourself down. You can say you're not worthy, this, that, this. This person thinks otherwise. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles, Holy Pentacles, which, kind of makes sense for Universal Year 8. This page could be the younger version of this king. They are of the same suit. They don't have to be, but they certainly could be. So you may already know this person. And listen, I feel like as this energy moves towards you, I don't feel like it's an automatic yes for you. Um, you know what I mean? And especially because I feel like at this point, you've worked hard to build or you're building like a certain lifestyle for yourself. Now, I don't like, I don't want you to get rigid, but I feel like that's what you're thinking. Like, I'm doing so well here. Do I really want this? But I feel like the universe has been like hinting at this. Hey, Three of Wands, optimistic view. Two threes, 33. Lord knows I see that all the time in the reading. I feel like there must be a lot of you who have master number 33s out there. 33 can also stand for, an age. And it doesn't have to stand for anything. I'm taking notice of it. Three of Wands is how I choose to look at the world. I choose to look at my life. This is not putting like heavy expectations on what must be. This is living in the moment with the Three of Wands. This is saying to oneself, I know my ships will arrive when it's due time, when it's ready, right? When the seed has ripened, it will come my way, and that I can trust. I do feel like there's some of you going to be working from home. All right. I am going to bring the clarifiers in here, only because I do want to go a little deeper here. Because I feel like, we're moving, not that we're moving away from your creative house. I feel like we're adding in another element, which is potential love. Let's give him a cut. And I don't know. Who do I want to look at? Let's look at the king. Tell us more about your world. So I feel like this king is part of your next chapter. Again, it does not have to be an earth sign. Some of you, it is an earth sign. Some of you, it is someone that you already know. You may know from a younger time, but it's definitely signifying to me that this king is part of your 2024 and meant to be part of your 2024. Now, doesn't mean it has to be. I don't know why I have to, why I keep saying that. Like, I feel like you already know that. Oh, I never looked at the bottom of the deck. Hello, Fool. Take a chance. Three of Swords under that. Well, that makes sense, right? Like, take a chance. Well, last time I took a chance in love, I got my heart broken. So did a lot of us. But that doesn't mean the next person will break your heart. The Fool, you know, I don't feel like you're even thinking that way. Because the Fool really does put the past behind them. And I feel like, I feel like January and February we're talking again about your finances and your creative house. And I feel like March is more about moving into the next avenue, which potentially is love. It feels meant to be. Again, it doesn't have to be, but it does feel meant to be. There's no like if you cross over and you go to heaven and you're asked like, why did you not go with that king? There's no real judgment over that. You have free will, but I feel like I don't even know why I'm talking that way because I feel naturally you're gonna feel good about this. Again, this person in the Four of Cups is looking at that cup that the Knight of Cups is saying it's bringing in. There it is. And it's right under the King of Cups, and they're looking up at him. So, Let's look at the Ace of Swords. Hello, soulmate. So, this is your soulmate. It makes sense, right? It's on your tree. You know, what I love about this image is they are looking eye to eye. They are on an equal vibration. It doesn't mean they're exactly the same. I don't mean that. I mean they're both on the same vibration, and I feel like it's a higher vibration. Over the Ace of Swords. And we have the Five of Wands. Interesting. So, Five of Wands, why would that come out right now? Well, maybe this is someone that you knew before, and maybe there was a period of time where, there was a lot of ego involved. No one wanted to back down type of energy. I'm not going to say this person comes in and gives you an apology, but I'm not going to leave that out at the same time. If you know this person, um, but I also feel like this may be like, if I would say, I don't know that I would say no, but I feel like that is a little bit of past energy. I don't feel like it belongs to this king, even though it is coming with the soulmates. Maybe they're so much alike that they need to understand that. All right. I don't want to leave that there. Tell me more. Why? Well, here's that page. Page to the king. Let's go talk about this page at a younger time. May have had somewhat aggressive energy. I don't mean abusive energy. I don't want you to take anyone abusive in your life or take anybody abusive back. That's not what your guides would want either. But this could talk about a period of time where, if you knew this person, there could have been like, um, well, first of all, as a page, I'm still learning. I'm learning as a page. I feel like you're just going to hear some type of communication. And I just feel like this is your soulmate. Okay. I'm not ready to let that go. We have the Nine of Cups, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. I simply feel this is an energy of, we get to March, right? January opens with epiphanies and ideas, and it's like guidance to help you reach like that ultimate place that you want to reach. Now, again, it may be just starting at the beginning, but you can still reach it. February is a continuance of that, right? It's where I feel like you start to see the fruits of your labor. And then I feel like March, okay, now it's time for something else. It's not eliminating anything, it's time for the next thing, which seems to be love. And I feel like what this is saying here is, you know, so this person communicates to me, and it's not that I don't want it. It's just that I'm thinking like, you know what? I've created quite a little nice life for myself. Do I want to take a chance and, that it may be disrupted? And it could be disrupted, but maybe it's disrupted in a good way. I feel like the communication is coming to your home. Now, I always want to say, don't be afraid to be the one who reaches out if you know who this is. You know what I mean? Because it all feels kind of meant to be anyway. But I feel like if there's any, almost like that's where those Seven of Cups were coming from. So I feel like if there's any type of resistance, let's say, I feel like it's more because you kind of like the way your life is, and I feel like it's been a long time coming where you can say that. It's under the full three swords. We already looked at that. All right, let's keep going. Look at that. The Knight of Wands over the Knight of Cups. Passion. Good luck resisting this. Good luck. Ten of Wands over the Four of Cups. That's interesting because, the Ten of Wands talks about a period of time where, like, everything felt like, what I feel like? First of all, let me finish that thought. Everything, the weight of the world was on your shoulders. I feel like this person comes in, it almost like they're helping to lift um, that weight off of you. When you see Ten of Wands, it doesn't want to continue, it wants to end. Like, I don't want to keep carrying all this weight around, right? Like, I don't want to carry, this is like so much responsibility. For some of you, it's like you're doing it on your own. And it's interesting because I feel like there's a part of you is like, do I want this? But then I feel like there's another part of you that I don't even know how you're going to refuse it with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands together. Because not only does that talk about love coming in, but it talks about how passionate, fast, rushes over you. It's funny how I didn't need to clarify the other one. It's not that I need to clarify them. I just have a very curious mind. So I want to know more and more. There's temperance again. Divine timing. And then the Three of Cups over the Four of Wands. Or I'm sorry, the Four of Pentacles. Celebration. Joy. A reason to celebrate. Temperance is like divine timing. Trust in me. If you can't trust in yourself, well, trust in me. This just feels like it's coming in at the right time. Nine of Swords under that Ten of Wands, and then the King of Wands. Can be in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. These can be the same kings. This is the King of Action. Okay. I just wanted to look at the Nine of Swords as connected to not to the Ten of Wands. Nine of Swords is a lot of worry, but it's unnecessary worry. That's what you want to remember about this card. It is about unnecessary worry. And if I don't deal with that, it's going to show itself in my body somehow. Sleepless nights, high blood pressure, depression, all that. So I really got to understand that's unnecessary, right? And then the Page of Cups comes out. Wow. Do we have your inner child? There is your inner child. This period is for your inner child. This period is for the love of that inner child and to allow it to be. Now, the universe is never going to say you have to. I would say, why wouldn't you? The Fool passes the past. Even if this is someone I already know, This would be them coming in a higher vibrational energy. But you also want to think about where your vibration is at, because remember, the universe is going to meet that vibration. And I feel like because January and February found you like almost in this energy of loving what you do, becoming very creative. And I feel like when you're in that energy, it just opens up the universe. Like the universe is like, yes, let's let's just keep, it's like sending you riches, sending you all kinds of things. Why? Because you're getting involved. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. I feel like March is your month for love. Now, again, time is fluid. Could this happen before that? Well, listen, it's, I feel like it's already written, it's already part of your seed sort of intention. So with that, I feel like I can almost let go of control of it. Like I don't need to try to control this. And when it comes in, it comes in. Because I feel like your mind is busy doing other things anyway. And I love that the Nine of Cups is here. We've had that Nine of Pentacles twice, right? Now we have the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. Wow, what a perfect recipe for love, right? When you can stand on your 2 feet, you have an independent nature, but I don't mean like I'm not allowing anybody in. It just means literally I can take care of me. And then the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. Now fall in love with the soulmate. It's different. And by the way, if you're in that energy of this inner harmony and independent type energy, if anything, by chance, will come towards you that is not of a good nature, you're going to know it. Trust your intuition. When fear arises, which it does, just look at it like, is this just fear of the past? Or does this person actually deserve that? You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like they do. And again, if it's someone coming back, if they're not of that vibration, which I do feel like they will be, I feel like, first of all, why would Temperance want to even introduce this? Why would they be part of your next chapter? And they are your soulmate. I mean, it just is what it is, right? The Fool saying, take a chance, take a leap of faith, have trust. In the inner child, that playfulness, allow yourself to play, see where it goes. Not everything has to go the whole way, or at least tell yourself that. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun, and then maybe you just fall in love. I feel like you're falling in love. Um, and it just feels meant to be. Whether you accept it or not, I feel like when it comes in, phew, it's like a rush. It's almost like undeniable. And by the way, I do feel like this person and you to them, it's like you can see their soul or their soul. Okay, let's let that be. And I feel like we have to read Mother Mary because I feel like that energy has come out quite a few times. So let's read Mother Mary and let's read Trust. I think it came out first. Trust. You ask this question because you desire reassurance that everything is going to be okay. This card asks you to trust that indeed it will be. By relaxing with faith and trusting in God's infinite intelligence, you open the doorway to the answers to your prayers. In this way, you are more receptive to hearing heavenly guidance which gives you intuitive instructions about which steps to take. As you take them, you bring about more divine results. This card promises you a favorable result, or I'm sorry, this card promises you a favorable resolution to your current situation, even if it differs from your expectations. Mother Mary lovingly asks you to step out of the way so that God's handiwork has room to enter. Surrender any fears, worries, or desires to control the outcome and trust in God's wisdom and love. Hello. Inner child. And your inner child, Scorpio, I feel like is an energy that you really need to be comfortable with. All right. Mother Mary watches over all her children, including the child who resides within each adult. This card comes to you as a reminder to care for your inner child who is crying out for attention. If you're only working and not having fun, this part of you begins to feel neglected and sad. This is a message for you to create time for amusement and play. Your inner child also craves attention. If you've been overly critical of yourself lately, he or she may feel shame or depression. Forgive yourself, as Mother Mary forgives you for what you think you've done or not done. Learn from any mistakes instead of holding on to self destructive guilt. Right this moment, please reassure your inner child that you love him or her. Amen. Amen. Scorpio, I loved your reading. I feel like you are taking advantage, or your soul's taking advantage of the Universal 8 like I've never seen. And you are, I think, the seventh, if not eighth video I've done. And I have to say, your video really kicks butt. Not just because of the opportunities, but just the way everything seems to be naturally flowing. I feel like this could be one of, I've been saying this to everyone, but I do feel like this may be one of your best years. Or let's put it another way. I feel like this is a year where you're going to look back at certain aspects, maybe March becomes the anniversary date type of thing. But also I feel like you're going to look back at like, maybe I had something was just a seed and look what I've created from it. And this is just winter. This is just winter. I almost can't wait to do your spring now to see, because I feel like March or spring has you starting to fall in love. Um, that's another reason why you want to make sure, if you're a subscriber, that you have that bell rung and have it rung for all notifications so that you'll see when your spring comes, because I'll do it way before spring. Um, and also when I go live, I feel like I already know only 19% of my subscribers have that bell rung 100%, and that is your choice. But if you're someone who, like, once these notifications, know that you need to have that bell rung. Also, when I go live, I've noticed that a lot of people are missing it when I go live. It's like you're not, I don't know what else to do, how to get the notifications across so that more of you can join me in our live sessions, which I feel like are a blast. And that's under my memberships. But really, you can ask anything within we go live. I don't really even put a time limit on it. I go until I'm just exhausted and then I stop. But I also just go live for all subscribers. So that's why I'm saying have that bell rung so you can be part of it if you want to be. If you want to be. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Um, right this minute, I feel like you have the very best reading of the 2024 readings. I hope that you agree. And I hope that you leave me comments and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the format. But let me know if you can feel any of this energy too and how you relate to it. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys. I'm just going to give you a blanket. I thank you for everything. Truly. You, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here on YouTube. Period. It's just the truth. So thank you for a great 2023. And I say, let's go for it for 2024. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.